Okay, my beautiful friends, sit back and relax because it is May Day. Yes, it is May freaking Day. May 1st, 2023, people, this is my pre-market report, and we really got to set the stage here. Let's start off with this. Are you ready? Okay. So the Wall Street Superbank, JP Morgan, well, guess what? They're buying First Republic Bank. That makes 4 bank failures this year. Did you know that? Maybe you don't. And more are coming. Anyway, so on the back of the news here that the Wall Street Superbank, JP Morgan, is acquiring the assets of First Republic, pennies on the dollar. JP Morgan's stock right now, as I am doing this lovely blog, is up more than 4%. Well, are you shocked? I'm not shocked. Remember this, JP Morgan is the same bank that, well, just by coincidence, got the assets of Bear Stearns during the last financial meltdown. Let me explain this to you. This system right now is being dismantled piece by design. We are witnessing a consolidation of the financial system here. Why? The setup for the rollout of the Federal Reserve's new system, which is coming, and you, me, nor anyone else can stop it. It's happening. Just get used to it. So something else is going on too. So not only is the super bank here, JP Morgan, acquiring yet another institution, the CEO of JP Morgan, I'm talking about it himself, Jamie Dimon, wants you to know something. Are you ready for what he wants you to know? You know this already, but he wants to tell you. You know how this works. These figures, because they're the almighties over here. They want to dictate your life to you. So what he had to say is this: credit, imagine my shock, or lending. Banks are going to be making it harder for you, small businesses, to acquire loans, even just to function here. Now, what else do we know is going on for many, many, many months? Federal Reserve, central banks around the world, raising rates. They're really, really fighting inflation. You know they are. That's why it keeps rising, because they're fighting it. No, they've been raising rates so they could limit the availability of credit to small businesses who they are trying to get rid of. You understand? The corporate agenda is being fulfilled right before your eyeballs, and it came right out of the mouth of CEO, JP Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon. Imagine my shock. I can't believe that this stock is surging pre-market, right? I guess I could believe it. I could believe anything in this environment. We're up higher by over 4%. It's insane, honestly. Let us move forward here. So that's the big story this morning. JP Morgan absorbing yet another bank here. Dimon wants you to know, well, credit's not going to be so easy for you to get anymore. Imagine my shock here. 4 bank failures so far here in the United States this year alone. Let me see what else I wanted to talk to you about. That's right off the top. So let me just say this. You and I have been absolutely clear on the fact that this current system is being dismantled piece by piece. As a matter of fact, I wrote a piece I want to read to you, and I want you to have this. We'll talk about that in just a moment too. Remember, come Wednesday, we got the mystical Fed announcement. They're going to raise rates on Wednesday, people. Believe me, I read through the comments, and I know about half of you don't think so. Why? Do you really understand what's going on? They're taking the system apart. Part of that is them raising rates here. Again, limiting the availability of credit, destroying the middle class here, making them struggle as hard as they can. What do we got? What do we got already? 73% of millennials can't survive without missing one paycheck. You got 58% of Americans in aggregate working who can't survive without one paycheck. Sounds great to me, huh? Oh, wow, we're really doing great. Ask Joe Biden. He'll tell you how great we're doing because he wants to get reelected. He wants to finish the job. Imagine my shock here. Stock futures, people, are flat. I mean, ever so slightly higher as I am doing this video blog. Trading doesn't start for about 40 minutes from the time I am doing this. We'll see how it plays out. So slightly higher. Stock futures, JP Morgan's whipping higher. let's see what the banking sector, the large banks, you have to understand how this is going to play out. The large banks, which I recommended buying a while back, they're going to kill it moving forward. Kill it. I think most of you know that here. As the system gets consolidated, the banks are going to do phenomenal. There's just no doubt about it. Just don't take my word for it. Look at J.P. Morgan right now. They absorbed this bank and they're up over 4%. Imagine your shock. Imagine my shock here. But that's really what's going on. So stock futures, as I said, slightly higher. 10-year yield, ever so slightly higher. Relative strength of the dollar, ever so slightly higher. Crude oil under some pressure today, still around $75 a barrel. What else we got going on? Cryptocurrencies under pressure right now. Silver putting on a nice gain, at least when I just looked at it, like over 1%. Gold relatively flat. That's where we stand with the whole freaking freak show. Now, what I want to do, people, is I want to read this to you about the system being taken apart. Now, if you are a subscriber to my newsletter, when I finish this video blog, I'm going to blast this out to all of you. I want you to have it. I want you to share it if you are so inclined. This stuff is really important. I do this about once a week. I put a piece like this together for all of you to really allow you to gain a deeper perspective on what's going on. I know you know it already, but look at the title here. Something will give. The entire system is breaking. Now, this breaking or dismantling of the system is 100% by design. They're taking down this new system piece by piece. There's going to be a big event, of course, and then they're going to institute their new system here, consolidating the banks as is going on right now. Everything that you and I have discussed from a long time ago, really pretty much everything, is falling into place. It's happening right before our eyes. So I want to read this to you, and of course I'm going to ad-lib through this as I usually do. Let's hope I don't have a meltdown here. So something will give. It's already giving. The entire system is breaking. Yes. The current monumental disconnect between the world economy and the global stock markets is today off the Richter scale. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We cover this all the time. The disconnect between the markets and the economy. All right, that gap is just getting worse and worse as the system continues to get pumped full of easy money. Easy money has never stopped. What we have at present is a global stock market hyperbubble on a truly epic scale. We all know this already, right? Furthermore, in my opinion, we may be nearing a breaking point. That's the truth with regard to the market. A breaking point not just in world stock markets, but the entire system. And people, this is by design. The current distortions which exist across the entire spectrum of asset classes, including both commercial and residential real estate, are unlike anything we have ever seen before in history. Make no mistake about it. You know this already, people. The current multi-bubble financial system environment has been and continues to be driven directly by central banks who do, in fact, run the entire financial system, obviously. Now, this is what I want you to pay more attention to. Let's delve a little deeper into how the entire world financial system works. I'm going to sum this up for you in about 2 or 3 paragraphs. What 99% of people have not even the slightest idea about is this. The world financial system operates in a vacuum. That is, it exists in a perpetual state of deficit. Duh. You see what goes on? Debts, deficits, ballooning, no end in sight. Okay. The system is by design insolvent. The insolvency of the entire system stems from the fact that the system itself is debt-based. Most people have no idea that we have a debt-based system. It's astonishing. We're not taught this in school. The perpetual deficit state can be understood possibly by looking at the current debt ceiling situation. The debt must expand exponentially every single day, which allows the system to operate. Without perpetual debt expansion, the system stops. Today, the national debt is over $31 trillion and increasing every second of the day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Without this mechanism in place, the entire system would immediately cease to function. A credit freeze would occur and will occur. A credit freeze is a situation where every single transaction stops. No cash in the banks, no ATMs, nothing works. You can't acquire anything by swiping. You would have to use cash at that point. Henceforth, why I've explained to people, you need to have some cash on hand. in case a credit freeze occurs, which I believe it will. How many people even understand, listen to this part, I covered this briefly yesterday. How many people even understand that they work day after day, hopefully with weekends and holidays off, just to earn the right to borrow their earnings from the Fed? That's right. The monies you earn by your hard labor only gives you the right to borrow those bills from the issuing central bank. You don't own these things. You don't own that cash. It is owned by the issuing central bank and owed back to the issuing central bank plus interest. Imagine such a twisted system. But even that gets worse. If you were paid in gold or silver, that would be yours. You own it. Okay, being that you get paid in fiat dollars that are created by a central bank out of nothing, they own it. You don't own it. You get up right now, you're probably getting up, ready to go to work. Maybe you're at work right now. Do you realize all you're doing is working to earn the right to borrow from the Federal Reserve? That's what you're doing. You probably didn't realize that, some of you, until right now. Well, that's a fact. From the moment you get to borrow those wages after working X amount of hours to earn the right to borrow those wages, and after it makes its way into your bank accounts, those bills in whatever form, and we're talking about it digital because they're going to be digitally placed into your account here, will begin to lose purchasing power. The nanosecond the cash makes its way into your account, starts to lose purchasing power. In today's inflationary environment, the dollars you earn begin to lose value the second you get it, as I just said. And that, my friends, even gets worse. Today, people are carrying their largest debt burdens ever. Moreover, by their numbers, the numbers that are fist-fed to us by the government, which is the Federal Reserve, the inflation rate here in the United States is near 5%, with the average rate on credit cards over 17%. I want you to think about this stuff. They're deliberately trying to kill people. I'm not lying. Markets, the consumer, and yes, the entire financial system is being dismantled brick by brick by central planners, central banks, who are fulfilling their end game to own it all. But for their end game to be realized, the current system must, by design, be broken. And that's exactly what's going on here. People, as I said, I want you to have a copy of this. I'm going to fire this out the moment I finish this video, so you will find it in your inbox if you do subscribe to my free newsletter. Link in the description of this video. If you do not, or have not as of yet, subscribe to my free newsletter, please do it now. It's literally honestly free. All right, so link in the description of this video. So that's the story, people. That's where we stand here. So how many of you, I want to hear from you, are shocked or surprised at all that it just happens to, by chance, be JP Morgan, the super bank of superbanks, which just acquired the assets of First Republic for pennies on the dollar, the same bank that did the same thing to, obviously, to Bear Stearns here. It's a pretty astonishing kind of a situation here, people. Really is. But again, none of this is a surprise to a single one of you that follow this blog. It's really the truth. People, this is the first of the month. And on the first of the month, I humbly ask for your support. Once a month, I come out on the first and ask for your support. If you think Greg is doing a good job, do you think that maybe Greg deserves your support? Please do that. I ask for $5. That's it. $5 a month. Free newsletter, my website, everything that's free, these blogs, and everything else that I do. All right. So if you are so inclined, and again, this is not compulsory, only if you feel like doing it, support my work. There are 2 links in the description of this video, one to PayPal and one to Stripe. You can also support my work with cryptocurrencies. I love cryptocurrencies. You all know that. So please support my work. I count on every one of you to do that. As of late, unfortunately, very, very few. It's always like a fraction of 1% of you that support my work. And I would like, really honestly, that more of you would care to support my work. Right? I'm out here every day, twice a day, busting my rear end to get you information that is actionable. So if you think I'm doing a good job, as I said, please support my work. There are links in the description of this video. All right, people, I will see all of you later, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for my live stream. That's it. Love you a lot. See you later.